Streamlabs does.
What's that?
It like like you could upload your thumbnail and everything right through Streamlabs.
Oh, that's rad. Okay.
That's nice.
Oh, just so you know, I've already changed the name of my series.
I kind of figured.
It's now Travis Travels Tamriel because I think I'm beyond noob just with my MMO experience in general. So, all right. How do I? Hey, live.
It's live.
Yes.
Okay. Do you want to go post links everywhere?
Yeah, I'll drop links everywhere. Can you guys hear my keyboard?
No, I can't.
No.
Okay, good.
Did you do mic adjusting or just get a squishy one?
No, it's just loud as hell.
Okay.
It's mechanical, but it's not the clickety clacks. It just bottoms out really hard.
No, I turned on the that NVIDIA noise suppression with the RTX cards.
Well, we don't
I
have
an
those.
RTX card.
I think me and you are rolling with the same cards, Travis.
What, you got a 1660?
Yeah.
Nice. Nice. All right, let me tweet this crap out. Okay. All right, cool. We're live.
We are live.
For shizzle. Maybe I should put this over here in front of my face.
I'm all over
I
the
don't need to
place.
look at me. I don't know. I don't know what's going on right now. I keep doing this. I'm not wearing my glasses, but I keep pushing them up on my face. All right. Is anybody watching?
I don't know where it says if people are watching, to be honest. No, nobody's watching now that I'm looking.
So I think it pops up on the bottom left-hand side.
That's if you're looking at the stream itself. Like I'm not.
Oh.
I'm looking at the YouTube dashboard, which is all new to me.
Total views 0. But it doesn't. Well, that's too buddy. We've already got 2 thumbs up, so whatever. Let's just roll. I don't know how we got 2 thumbs up. So if you're watching on YouTube, this is completely new to us, and we have no idea what's going on.
I'm just turning our cameras on now, Travis, by the way.
Okay.
So how are you
I'm
guys
waiting.
doing?
Stuff? I'm doing good.
What's the delay on YouTube?
I don't know. It's freaking long because it still says starting soon, and you switched that like 30 seconds ago.
I just
Oh,
turned on the
hey, there it
feed
goes.
and I see video now.
Okay, yeah, here we go. That's really
Awesome.
long.
I don't see Alex.
That's because Alex doesn't have a camera.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
I don't care.
I can turn back on that video thing that has the OBS logo if you want it.
No, that's all right. That's all right.
That's quite all right, man. Quite all right. Quite all right.
But so yeah, we're on the YouTube now. We're streaming here. How's everybody doing?
I'm doing pretty well. How are you?
Not too bad. I just got done watching the Snyder Cut.
Oh, nice.
It's like
Yeah.
4 hours long, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I wish it wasn't 4 hours long. And I haven't watched Justice League, like the Snyder one, in I don't know how long, to be honest. And
You mean the Whedon one?
Yeah, the Joss Whedon one. And I couldn't remember what was part of the original and what was new. So this was like me going in brand new, to be honest. Okay. And one of the big things is like, okay, that's cool and all, but it's 4 hours fucking long. And I'm not about that life. Like, I ordered food, and you guys saw. I don't know if Alex, if you saw it, but the burrito I posted in the Discord, that thing weighed 4.5 pounds.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
Holy crap!
it was $9, and it was delicious.
Jeez.
And I got half of it left because it was a new place we were ordering from, so I didn't know like how. And I'm, you know me, I'm a big eater, especially even more now that I'm lifting almost every day of the week.
Yeah.
So I got tacos, I got nachos with bean dip and cheese, and then I got the burrito. And I ate the tacos because the tacos were decent sized tacos to begin with. So I ate 3 of those. I had some of my nachos, and then I took the burrito out, and I'm like, this is like the size of my forearm. And I ate half of it, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna eat this tomorrow after I work out.
That was huge. That was a freaking massive burrito.
It's like I said, I weighed it because I have a food scale, 4.5 pounds.
That's crazy. For $9, that is literally insane.
Yeah, and I'm still kind of I just burped a little bit, and I could taste it, and it's still delicious.
Gross.
That is the best burps in the world when you can still taste it.
Thank you,
good.
Alex.
No.
Thank you.
Like,
you know what, Travis, you're out. Alex, you're in.
No,
this is
because
we're gonna talk about Rocket League and Apex Legends.
I'm the one recording this, so
no,
fuck off.
When you eat Taco Bell, you still taste Taco Bell 5 hours later, and it's great.
Exactly.
Yeah, but like the thing is, with me, it always gets slightly distorted to the point where it's really gross. I don't know why. It's just like it's a slight distortion, and it just makes it like the worst taste in the world.
That's understandable. I mean, you have tum problems to begin with, so
yeah, I got tummy issues.
But other than that, I guess we should start like the actual podcast, right?
Yeah, let's roll.
All right, so for the people on the YouTubes and whatnot, this is purely for recording purposes. 3, 2, 1. Hey everybody, it is that time of the week, that time of the month, that time of the year. It is the RPG Kingdom podcast, episode 7. It is what? It's like March 18th, 19th, 20th? 20th already. It's March 20th, 2021. Travis, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty swell. How are you?
Not too bad. Also, we have a guest today, Alex, also known as Drumming Viking. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
We're here. We've been talking for a little while. Alex has been with us since the very beginning. He's one of our community manager type deals. What's your actual title, Alex?
I think it's community manager. Let me go scroll up here in the Discord, and I could probably tell you.
Yes, it's community manager.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
You're like, well, right now you're listed as a caster, so you could be in the Discord call.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
you'll
that's why
swiftly be removed from that.
I was looking for my name and it was gone.
Well, you're at the top of the food trim now because D comes before T and X.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So this is mine now.
You are now the admin. You are now the server admin. It's your server. I'm leaving. Goodbye.
Yes, Rocket League and Apex Legends.
Have you even played Apex?
I played a match on the Switch.
Okay.
It's not something you want to play.
I have played like 5 matches in the past 3 months. Me and some friends played like 2 nights ago, and we couldn't even play because the servers were so jank.
Oh, that's horrible.
Well,
yeah, that was bad.
Interesting. That's what's stopping Titanfall 3 from coming out, because that's all they're working on is Apex.
Yeah.
It does not show.
I mean, they put all that work into the Switch mode, which if you play only playing against Switch players, it takes forever to find a lobby because it runs at like 720p 30 frames per second docked mode, and it runs at like 540p in handheld.
Is that playable like that?
Handheld, I don't know. I honestly I play my Switch primarily docked. So but so we have some news of the week, Travis.
We didn't even do what we've been playing.
Oh yeah, what have we been playing? I'm all thrown off. There's another person here, all right? Travis.
So Alex, why don't you go ahead with what you've been playing this week?
So I played the Monster Hunter Rise demo on the Switch.
They put out a new one, right?
What do you mean?
This
like
is
a new demo? Or?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is a totally different demo than the one they released like a month and a half, 2 months ago.
Probably. I have no idea. This is the first one I've played, and I really like it. I love the mobility thing, the wire bug, run on the walls and stuff. It's great.
The doggo.
The doggo is awesome. I like that your hunter actually talks or makes more noises than just.
Yeah, it comes out what, Friday?
I think so.
Yeah, I want to say Friday.
Riding the monsters is A+. Using them to attack other monsters is A++. But I wish they would hurry up and make another one for like bigger consoles.
Yeah, this is going to be an exclusive to Nintendo, I believe.
Yeah, it is.
Now, Stories 2 is coming out in July. That is coming out to PC as well. I think it might be coming out on PS5 or PS4 as well. But I think as of now, it's only been announced for the Switch and PC. But that's like your traditional JRPG.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't even know if I call this a complaint, but I played a lot of it actually in the handheld mode because I was playing it on my lunch break at work. And that game chewed through my Switch battery.
It's
I did 2 months and I went from 90% to 50%.
It's a beautiful game. So I'm not surprised. And it runs really smoothly for how good that game looks.
It does. I was surprised because I thought my Switch was honestly at the point where it was so hot that it would meet its thermal limits and start to throttle. The game was still running just fine, but I mean, the Switch was uncomfortable to hold.
Oh, wow. That's pretty bad.
It got that hot and the battery drained that much. I don't know if my Switch is just messed up or if the game is just really that.
I could believe that it would run a little bit hot. Whenever I do play in handheld mode, I use one of these beautiful Satisfy grips. Sponsor us. It's invest in one, Alex. If you play a lot of handheld, invest in a grip.
So usually what I do, it was only for the last week that I was playing in handheld, is I'll play in handheld, but I'll take my Pro Controller with me and I'll wedge the Switch in between the knobs on the steering wheel, and I will lean back in my car and just play that while I eat some food.
Sorry, my dog was barking there. I know you guys heard it. It was Lincoln. Good old Nugget.
Good old Nugget.
Well, that's wonderful though. But so with the Satisfy grip, it has little stands, so you could put it on the desk and still play with your Pro Controller. Because I do that too.
I could do that.
Sponsor us.
Right. / advertisement.
Hashtag ad, not an ad, because they don't pay us money. All right, anything else you've been playing?
Yes, I played the Outriders demo for about an hour and a half, I think.
Okay.
It's cool. You can tell that the people that worked on Gears of War worked on this game.
Okay.
Because the running feels just like Gears of War, which I like. I love Gears of War. It's one of my favorite shooters. But this is just Destiny meets Gears of War. It's cool. I don't know if it's gonna rival Destiny, but it's cool.
So here's my outlook on Outsiders, and we'll talk a little bit more about this when we get to the news. I haven't played the demo. I was not really interested in that game at all to begin with. I love Gears of War, and I played a lot of Destiny and Destiny 2, but I think I've fallen away from the games as a service in general. They showed that like 10-minute teaser trailer for Outriders during the Square Enix Presents on Thursday. And it did nothing for me. Like, absolutely nothing for me.
That's fine.
If you're into that type of game, that's awesome. Enjoy it. I hope it does well, because, well, as we know with Avengers, that game's doing great. So I hope Square Enix gets the games as a service. I don't want to see both Outriders and Avengers become the next Anthem.
Yeah.
But
like we were talking this week that Outriders might not be Destiny, but I don't think it's going to be Avengers. It's already gotten a better reception than Avengers, so.
That's true.
So
that's true. Hopefully it's good. I'm going to pick it up because it's been announced day one Game Pass, so I don't have to pay money for it. I'll turn on my Xbox Series S to play that game because I don't turn that thing on all that often. But I don't see myself playing. I don't see myself even beating the story in that.
It's a game that if my friends want to pick it up, I will pick it up with them and play it. but it is not a game that I will pick up myself to play.
Well, if you have an
That's good enough.
Xbox or if you have the Game Pass Ultimate on PC, you don't have to pick it up at all. It's yours for free.
Oh, that's fair.
Not
Yeah.
free. You're still paying a sub.
I was like, wait, actually, no, it's not free. I still have to pay for that service.
I mean, I've had the service since it came out, and I hopped on like one of those crazy deals where like, all right, here's Game Pass Ultimate for $1 for a year, and I paid for like 4 years of it, so
Nice.
I don't have to pay for Ultimate for a long time.
There you go.
Now that you say that, I think I actually hopped on that deal, but I'm pretty sure mine expired at some point.
I bought a couple of them. I like quadrupled up on that deal.
Nice.
And
Hold on.
and I play some games here and there on it, but I play primarily on my PC, even though, like I said, I got the Series S, which I probably played a total of maybe like 10 hours since I bought it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the only other thing I've really been playing was, I mean, besides Rocket League, that's just like my comfort. I come home and I play on that for 30 minutes just to
Take your
wind
pants
down,
off,
but-
wind down with some Rocket League. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Uh-huh.
What was actually today was Yakuza Like a Dragon. I picked
Nice.
that up,
I
and it's fun.
I've heard a lot of good things, and it's Yakuza, so it's got like that over the top comedy.
Yeah, the game is like a solid 70% cutscenes and dialogue, but it doesn't feel like it's dragging on.
And
That's nice.
as somebody who's played a total of maybe like 10 15 minutes of any Yakuza game out there, but I've watched enough of it to know about it. The games are fun. I enjoy watching them. I'm gonna play through them. I have so much on my backlog. I wait until you hear all the games I started playing this week. But
Sorry, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
I was like, one of the things I do love about it, and this isn't a feature I've noticed in any other game, or maybe I have and I just didn't remember, but when you go into sound options, you have a speaker direction setting, and you can choose where your speaker is actually positioned in proportion to your body.
That's neat.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's such a weird thing that I've never messed with in a game, but it does make a difference.
And you're like a big audio guy too.
Yeah, I'm a huge audio nerd, but my only complaint about the game is it does the thing where it lets you build up a little bit and then it wants to take everything away from you and not give it back.
Oh, so it's like Soten, like Symphony of the Night, where you start like overpowered and then.
Well, yeah, but you start and you build for like 4 hours, and then it's like, oh, now we're gonna start like the kind of like where the story is actually going, and we're gonna take everything away from you.
Oh, that sucks.
Oh, even better.
Yeah.
So it's like horrible then. That just sounds bad.
You keep your level, but you essentially lose all your money, which made me mad because there's an overabundance of encounters in that game. I think because it is turn-based and the combat is fun and it's fun to watch, but there's just a lot of encounters that are not worth your time.
Okay.
But you do get money from them, so it's like, okay, I'll farm out some encounters for 40 minutes, and oh, guess what? All that money you farmed out is just gone.
Yeah, I'm a big grindy guy, so I'd probably enjoy that.
Yeah.
You would.
Huh.
But
Anything
that's about it
else?
That's about it.
And Travis, what have you been playing besides your two? Anything else?
I didn't even say my two.
You've been playing the same two games forever now.
So I'm making progress.
We'll talk about them. God.
I'm trying to, but you're freaking interjecting with bullshit. So played more Elder Scrolls Online. Oh, shut up. Play more Elder Scrolls Online. I got my second main up to 20 and working on doing some dungeons and delves. Got a couple of videos out, which is pretty cool. And I'm already renaming my series to Travis Travels Tamriel because a newbie travels Tamriel is a misnomer already. So that's that. I've been also playing some more Trials of Mana. I played a crap load of that in the past few days. Let's see, what did I do? I found Kevin finally for the first time in like 15 hours of gameplay. I found Dryad, which is the final mana spirit that I needed. I got to the Sanctuary of Mana and lost the Mana Sword, unfortunately. And Belladonna, who is my main antagonist at this point, she took the sword from me and released the Benevodons, which are like these creatures that will destroy the world. But you have the chance to go kill them all, and I've killed 2 so far. So I think I'm on the home stretch. I think I've got to finish off the rest of the Benevodons and then onto the final boss, I think. So I should be winding down with that shortly, hopefully. And today I actually started a quote unquote new game. I booted up Breath of Fire 2 on my Switch.
Oh, there you go.
So I'm not very far in that. I just kind of went through the prologue and got Ryu grown up, and he is now working with Bo to go get back Mina's pet pig. And I'm really determined to actually beat that game. So we'll see what happens. It's a long game, and I know like the final area like crushed me when I was a kid. So we'll see if I can actually defeat that as an adult. I probably can't, but I'm going to try anyway.
Fun times, Travis.
Yep.
Fun times. I'm glad you started another game.
Yeah, me too.
Because like I said, for the past couple of weeks, it's been Trials of Mana and ESO, and I get it. You're an adult with a job and kids and a wife.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm an adult with a soon-to-be wife. That's about it.
Well, you have dogs. That's sort of...
They don't do it. I don't have to like watch them all day. They sleep most of the time.
Oh, there you go.
I gotta take them out every now and then. So my plate's been really full. So right now on my desk, I have 5 controllers.
Jeez.
So the first controller, right now. So the first controller is my Switch Pro controller, which I've been playing. Bravely Default 2. I'm still finishing up on that. I'm slowly grinding away at that. As well as Hades came out physical yesterday, so I went and picked that up. And it's Hades. I've told everybody how I feel about Hades. It's one of the best games to come out in recent history. Like, not just indie games. It's one of the best games to come out in recent history. So those are what I've been playing on my Switch. Next, I have my PS5 controller. I started dabbling in Neo 1, and that game is very, very hard because the Neo collection came out on PS5, and I picked that up when I picked up Hades. And that game is so hard. I'm probably not going to finish them because I'm a bitch, but they are fun. So I'm enjoying that. And I got it was like buy a new game and get 30% off. So I paid like $30 for Neo 1 and 2. I got a good deal on that. And then so that's what I've been playing on those. And then I have my PC Xbox controller. With that, I've been playing a little bit of The Binding of Isaac because the new DLC is coming out for that. And
I can't believe they're still pushing out DLC for that. That's awesome.
Yeah, and I'm closing on probably between like all platforms because I have it on the Switch, I have it on the PS4/5. I'm probably closing in on like 3,000 hours into that game.
Jeez. That is wild. That's a lot of hours.
I'm including the Flash version too. Like The Binding of Isaac all as a whole, I'm probably closing it on 3,000 hours on that game. And I can't wait for the DLC. And then I have my Xbox controller, which I turned on the other day because I was playing a little bit of what the hell's that game? It's a roguelite too.
Forza Horizon 4.
No, it's like Gungeon meets Isaac. What the hell is it? Neon Abyss?
Oh yeah, Neon Abyss. I think that was it.
Neon Abyss. It's a fun time. A lot of fun. And then this.
Yeah. An
OG PlayStation 1 controller. I started playing Lunar, the Silver Star Story Complete.
There we go.
And if you listen to the last week's podcast, this is one of my favorite games of all time.
Yes.
I love this game. I absolutely adore this game. After we started talking about it last week, Travis, I dusted off the PlayStation. I hooked it up. I got it running through my capture card, so I am recording it for some reason.
Very nice.
And I'm probably gonna play it a lot. And it's just such a good game. Play it. Also, I have to make a correction from last week's cast. So I said there was a Lunar Dragon song for the DS.
Yeah.
That is not the remake of Silver Star Story. That's its own story. There was Lunar Legend for the Game Boy Advanced. That is a port of Silver Star Story where they changed some things.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, so that
Well, nobody yelled at us, so don't sweat it.
I know. I mean, there's got to be some people out there that might pick up on that, but I wanted to make that correction because I was wrong. It hurts me to say I was wrong, but I was wrong.
This is one. Listen up, everybody. This is one of the very few times that you will ever hear Adam say, "I am wrong."
Because I'm never wrong.
No, he wasn't wrong. He was temporarily incorrect.
Thank you.
There's
Thank you.
You just said you were wrong.
No, I'm using that from now on.
Are
Temporarily incorrect.
Are we having this Diablo 2 is an MMO discussion again?
That I was temporarily incorrect there too. So.
No, you were horribly misaimed at that one.
Anyway.
All right, so let's move on. Let's move on to the news for the week.
Okay, there's more that I have to I'm going to discuss based off what's in the notes as well. More so about the Square Enix presentation the other day, but you can start us off.
Okay, that's fine. All right. We got word that Octopath Traveler is coming to Game Pass for console and PC, which is pretty rad. So that might actually cause me to pick up Game Pass again to play Octopath on my PC. So we'll see what happens.
It's fun. I mean, Octopath on a mechanical level is a good game. It has a lot of the same mechanics as Bravely Default, to be honest. It's got a very interesting art style, and that Project Triangle strategy demo is from the same developer, and they're using the same art style, but it's totally different gameplay. It's a tactical RPG compared to a turn-based JRPG. But on a mechanical level, it's good. On a story-based level, the individual characters have good stories. It's just that the story as a whole needs some work. Everybody's an individual story, so you can go help this guy do his story. He's one of your playable characters, but me as the other character have little to nothing to do with that story whatsoever.
Yeah,
that's my big complaint with Octopath. But it is mechanically, it's a phenomenal game. Graphically, I love the graphic style. But like I said, on a story level, it's lacking, but it's still worth playing.
Okay. All right. Next up, we've got Square Enix has trademarked Theatrism, or Theatrism, depending on how you want to say it, in Australia and Canada, which means that we may eventually be getting a follow-up to that series here, which would be pretty cool.
Either a follow-up or just a re-release it. I mean, I never played any of them. There's 2 of them, isn't there?
I believe so, and I think Skeleton House, what it was in our Discord. I think I heard him mention at some point, or saw him mention in another Discord that game is like one of his all-time favorite rhythm games, if not his favorite. I think it was him.
They're good. I think they're DS games, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Maybe I'll have to pick one up. But I've never played any of them. But Square Enix is making some moves as far as releasing more titles, which is cool. The next bit of news, though, Jade Raymond, who was one of the heads of the Stadia development team, started, what is it, Haven? Yeah, Haven Entertainment, and they've already signed an exclusive deal with Sony, and that's coming from Mr. Shuhei Yoshida himself. So you can take that to the bank, and they've been working on this IP previously. So my guess is whatever he was working on with Stadia, when they dissolved that team, he got to keep whatever they were working on, move those guys over to the new company. And my guess is he had a feeling this was coming, so he might have been talking to Sony before they even announced the shutdown. Because if they're already working on an IP, they've been working on it for more than, what they announced the closure of the Stadia studio, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago?
It's been a few weeks, yeah.
Like
so it's something that they were working on for Stadia, and now it's going to be coming out on Sony's console, and that's kind of interesting. I think he made the right move on that one.
Yeah.
Alex, do you want to read the next one, huh?
Let's see. What do I have in here?
Number 4.
I don't have the same link you have.
Oh.
What?
Do you not?
How?
Anyway.
What?
Anyway.
What does yours say?
No, hold on, because I copied that format over to my OneNote. I never actually reopened that. I didn't realize it.
Oh,
well.
Yeah, reopen it.
My bad.
Anyway.
God, some people.
I have things in here that I put in here for news, but I forgot.
All right, well, why don't you read one of yours?
What do you got?
Go ahead, go for it.
I got 3 things, and they're all like hardware related. So Nvidia with their RTX 360 cards rel- released a driver, or essentially they tried to stop mining off of them specifically with Ethereum. So they released a driver on it that basically cut its horsepower for mining in half. Well, on their most recent driver update, one of the devs accidentally removed that code.
God.
So now they're back to full power, and it was out there for 2 days. So basically, all the cards will forever have that unlocked. And someone did the math with those 3060 cards, you could get about $7 a day off of them from mining.
Jeez.
I mean, do you know how much they're getting off like a 3080 or 3090 a day?
I don't know, but I think the whole power consumption versus cost of the card, the 3060 was better because the 3060 was what, a $330 card or something like that, I think.
Well, I think
it was.
The recommended power supply for them is only like a 600 watt or something like that too. They're relatively low on the power consumption, so I would assume that it would still be optimal to use a 3060, maybe even the 3060 Ti. But I am so sick of the miners and how much it's marking up every piece of GPU tech out there right now.
Okay, so average for a 3080 on a daily is around $9. So you're talking maybe $3 more a day.
Yeah, and for that power consumption, it's not worth it.
No, it's not.
But the markups on GPU, like I saw somebody on Facebook trying to sell a 3080 for $3,000.
That's insane.
You can't buy graphics cards. You are better off spending more money on one of those giant pre-builts.
We were just talking about that, and I did the math for NZXT, Alex.
Yeah.
If you were to buy an NZXT based off of NVIDIA pricing with a 3090 in it, their markup is only between $50 and $75 for the whole unit.
That's not bad.
No, not at all.
NZXT does not kill you on additional charges. It's like they charge you fair retail price because they're getting all their stuff wholesale.
Yeah.
So it's like they're charging you full retail price and give us $75 to put it together for you. NZXT, like we were talking about, I don't think it was in the last cast. I think it was just randomly this past week. Travis, like,
just on Discord. Yeah.
If I were to get another computer, I'm not building another computer. No, it's just so much a pain in the ass for me anymore. I'm lazy. I'll buy one through NZXT in a heartbeat though.
I love building, but I can't anymore. Go ahead.
I've had a couple people ask me recently because they've been wanting to build one, and I'm kind of the go-to person around here for that stuff. And I've just been telling them, no, just don't. You can't right now. Like, we built a system for my buddy right before Christmas, and I think I snagged all the parts right before everything skyrocketed.
Yeah.
Because I did the math, and like to rebuild his system is like an additional $500 or $600.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's
crazy.
It's not doable. Also, I have the correct doc now up, so.
Okay. So on to the next bit of news. Everybody's favorite company in the world, not EA, but Blizzard, Activision Blizzard. They're laying off 90 more people in total, I believe.
I think it was 50.
Well, it's an additional 50. I think it's 90 in total, though.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean. Okay.
So they're getting a 3-month severance package, which is great. I'm glad they're giving them something. But on the way out the door, they're handing them $200 in BattleNet cards.
Yeah, that's just scummy. That is just adding insult to injury right there.
I don't know who had that idea. I really want to know.
It was probably Kotick himself. That dude's such a douche.
Oh, Bobby Kotick.
Whatever.
From my experience at work, that is 100% someone from HR who doesn't understand what gaming is, thought it was a good idea.
Yeah.
That's what that is.
Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah, here's the thing. I hate Activision. Blizzard, I think Blizzard was a better company before Activision bought them.
I agree.
And I think everybody can agree on that. But Activision came in and scooped them up, and now they're under that umbrella of diarrhea. And I love Blizzard games. I do. I love Diablo. I still love World of Warcraft. I love Warcraft 3. I every now and then I feel like I should play Overwatch because it's a solid class-based shooter.
Mhm.
I hate the fact that I have to support Blizzard based to play some of those games. Am I going to play World of Warcraft in the future? Possibly. I get the itch every now and then. But am I going to play Overwatch 2 when it comes out? Probably.
Yeah.
Am I going to buy Diablo 2 Remastered when it comes out this year? Abso-fucking-lutely. Am I going to play Diablo 4 when that comes out next year? 100% yes. But Activision Blizzard is a shithole company that does not know how to treat its employees, while Bobby Kotick or or whatever the fuck his name is just claimed $200 million in bonus pay for this past fiscal year.
Bonus pay.
Yeah.
Not even just, that's not even counting his salary. Bonus pay.
So even let's see, these 90 people are mid to upper range developers for Blizzard. Do you think their annual salary was anywhere near $200 million? Combined?
No.
Combined?
No. Nope.
No.
Maybe I would say about 10 million total.
Yeah.
At tops.
Yeah. So instead of saying, hey, Robert, we're not going to give you your full $200 million. We're going to keep these 50 to 90 plus people on the payroll, and we're only going to give you 150. I know it's a hard thing to stomach, but keep in mind that this isn't even your regular salary, Robert. This is your extras. This is your extra stuff. So this I hate that company so much.
Yeah.
As somebody who lost their job last year, I hate that so much, even more.
Yeah. All right. Why don't you go with another one of yours, Alex?
So at least over in Japan, it's being marketed. I don't know if it's being brought over here yet, but MSI is releasing an RGB foot pedal. Specifically a foot switch that you plug into your PC that can activate a keyboard shortcut.
I've seen those before. I know some people that stream use them.
Yeah, you can buy basic ones for $40. It has 3 switches on it, and they're perfect.
Yeah, I've seen people that use those for like their to switch scenes and whatnot.
Yep.
But why RGB?
No, hold on. RGB. Also, the thing looks like a giant boot, but its retail price is $600.
Oh, come on.
So I'm getting my stim soon, and I know what I'm buying.
Don't do it, dude. Do not.
I'm not.
I swear to God.
No, I'm not doing that.
Thank you.
No, I'm not doing that. That's a horrible idea.
Yeah, that's a really bad idea.
So Travis, why don't you read this next one?
Sure. We've got an Xbox Indie event coming up on March 26th, which will be in 4 days from when this releases.
Yeah, it's Friday.
Yeah.
The same day I get my stim.
Nice. And that event is looking to have Stalker 2 and more.
Yeah, they're gonna have a game. They're gonna have some more more games coming. They're gonna announce some more games coming to Game Pass, of course. Which I don't know what else they're gonna add. I mean, they just added 20 games from the Bethesda library.
They had all the Bethesda ones. They've got a crap ton of RPGs coming soon with the Octopath Traveler release. And they've also got another 9 indies that are coming too.
They're making moves. Like Xbox, I don't think they're gonna make enough moves to have to really beat out PlayStation in the front half of this console generation.
Mm-hmm.
Now there's some other
have them in the back half though.
Well, it could be similar to the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360 generation, where out of the gate Xbox destroyed PlayStation, but if you look at the numbers as a whole, PlayStation beat them by 3 million units for that whole console generation. So it could be something similar to that. PlayStation's got some heavy hitters as far as exclusives go, and I know some of the Bethesda titles coming out they're going to remain Deathloop is Bethesda, right?
Yes.
I think that's a PlayStation exclusive.
Yeah,
yes.
It's Bethesda. It's Arcane Studios through Bethesda.
But yeah,
it's a Sony
property.
It's going to be a 1-year delay for the other consoles.
Okay.
I believe.
So they're holding true. Microsoft is holding true to whatever contracts were at prior to the acquisition, similar to how it's kind of weird. I was at GameStop the other day, and they were asking people pre-orders, and they had a big poster of MLB The Show, which is coming to Xbox and PC. And it's so weird seeing an Xbox game with a Sony logo on it.
Yeah.
But hopefully, you know, we're still gonna. I don't think Sony's gonna give out some of their heavy hitter IPs like, you know, Uncharted, if they do any more Uncharted, God of War. You're not gonna see that anywhere else. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw games like Days Gone, which has already been confirmed coming to PC, and you have stuff like what is the one with the dinosaurs, the metal dinosaurs.
Horizon Zero Dawn.
Zero Dawn's already on PC.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if you see stuff like that meander over into the Xbox side. I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. But I think we're going to see a lot of more work between Sony and Microsoft, as we've been seeing with Microsoft and Nintendo as well.
I just want to play Ratchet and Clank. That's it. I don't care.
I can't wait for that game. But
I'm so psyched.
That's another big thing. That I guess at Xbox they're making some moves to maybe capture a larger market, because the PlayStation 4 outsold the Xbox like 2.5 units to 1.
Yeah.
So we'll be seeing some big moves from Microsoft, I think, in the next couple of years. But also they've been picking up studios left and right. Besides Bethesda, they picked up Double Fine. So they're making moves, but their big thing is they just want subscriptions. That's their big thing. They want people playing Game Pass. Like, look at me. Yeah. I bought an Xbox Series S because it's a Game Pass machine. That's it. I'm not buying anything on that besides what's on Game Pass. Mainly because it doesn't have a disc reader in it. But anyway.
Also, side note, an article from 7 hours ago, Stalker 2, the showcase at the Xbox event, will not have any new gameplay. It's just going to be another teaser trailer, apparently.
Oh, lame. Okay.
That hurts because I want Stalker 2 to be good. I love the Stalker series.
Oh, they're really good. They really are good games.
They're janky, but they're so good.
You have another bit of news, right there, Alex?
No, that was it for me.
Oh, that was your last one. So, all right. So, really quick.
I have one more. I have one more before you go.
Okay.
Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne, or SMT3, is coming out on the Switch on May 25th. Remastered.
$50.
Beautiful. Can't freaking wait.
Also on Steam.
I will pay for it
on my wish list.
Yeah, the Steam page is up for it as well. I don't know yet. I think they're coming out with a physical version of it for the Switch. You know where I'm going to get it.
Yeah. I'm getting that game for sure.
And also, so the last bit of news is, I know I spoke about it earlier, the presentation from Square Enix earlier this week. Yeah. I watched it, and to be honest with you, they came out with like 10 minutes or so of Outriders, which like I said before, it didn't tickle my fancy at all. Huh. And then it showed some Avengers stuff, which it's Avengers. The patch for PS5 I think is out now. They showed some Hawkeye stuff, and they're coming out with a Black Cat scenario, I guess, with or Black Panther with Wakanda and everything. Rest in peace, Chadwick, as well. Black Panther is still probably my favorite MCU movie. It's done phenomenally, except for some of the CG at the end, but that's another story. I mean, the Black Panther shit looks kind of cool, but I think that game is done. I really do. I don't think they're not gonna pull a Destiny 2 on that, where that Destiny 2 fell off really quick. I was done with that game in 2 weeks and I never touched it again. Yeah. A lot of people went back when they split from Activision Blizzard, which happy they did. But they turned that game around. The Division 2, that game was pretty bad at the beginning. They turned that around, but then it fell off quick again. So hopefully, I would love to see them do good with that game, but I don't think it's going to happen. And then they showed Life is Strange 3 coming out, and Life is Strange 1 and 2 are getting remastered for current gen consoles. I think it's all coming out later this year as well. And then that project, was it Athia?
Yeah, Project Athia.
Athia is now Forspoken. That game looks dope. Like,
that game looks incredible, dude.
Graphically, that game is very impressive. They showed that off at the initial PS5 teaser event.
Yeah. And
the game looks really, really good. And I can't wait for them to show more about it. I thought we were gonna get some Final Fantasy information, not necessarily Final Fantasy 7 remake or whatever the DLC is called.
Yeah.
I thought maybe we'd see maybe a little bit of a teaser for 16, because 16 looks great as well, and it looks gory. It looks very, very adult, and I can't wait for that.
Back from like the more, I don't want to say magical, but it looks more fantasy, less techy.
Yeah, it looks like they're going back to like almost like Final Fantasy 9.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or even more so 4.
Or 4. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, side note, I also started playing Final Fantasy 1 again.
Yay.
I was playing that on the PSP, which I found out I have one of the newer PSPs that has an output.
Cool.
And I ordered a converter so I can output to my capture card. But yeah, so I was hoping for some Final Fantasy information because 16 looks dope. Even more Final Fantasy 7 stuff. I am highly upset that PS5 upgrade for Final Fantasy 7 Remake isn't coming out until day and date with the DLC for Yuffie. Because I want to play through that again before I play the Yuffie DLC.
Yeah, I can see that.
But I don't think I'm going to get to do that. I think I'm going to have to start playing that. Maybe it's coming out in June, so probably sometime in May I'll start playing that through that again. But that's it for the news. We have some community achievements, Travis.
Yeah, we got a couple of them. Holy crap, we're already like almost 40 minutes in.
I know. Well, we have a guest, Travis.
We're talking a lot. We're talking a lot today. That's all right.
I'll talk as much as I damn want to.
Community achievements. First up, we've got Assault Power X. Assault Power and his team, his guild, his free company, whoever he runs with, got to the second half of the Eden 12 Savage raid today in Final Fantasy 14. Well, not today. This was like days ago. Yeah. I just copy and pasted from our Discord.
Yeah. I mean that's still impressive. From my understanding, that's a really hard raid. And it is. And from like previous MMO experience, anytime you get some raid progression, it's just a great feeling.
Yeah.
Like especially back in the Final Fantasy 11 days when you're starting to do end game shit, there wasn't no raids, but when you're doing like end game content, like killing like Kirin and gods, and you're getting progression done when you're a new group or new content comes out, it's a wonderful feeling. So congratulations to you guys.
What were you saying, Alex?
The Eden raids on Savage are very difficult.
Okay.
I'm so out of the loop with Final Fantasy 14. It's not even funny.
Yeah. Well, you don't play it, so of course.
Yeah. And then Pointless Code, he fought through his depression. That's phenomenal, dude. Depression. Everybody gets a little bit of depression here and there. So anytime you can get through that, kudos to you, my friend.
Yeah, for sure.
And Alex, do you have any achievements this week?
Yeah, I hit platinum in 2v2s and 1v1, or no, sorry, diamond in 2v2s and 1v1s in Rocket League this week. So
well,
damn, nice. Well done.
That made me feel good.
Well, I'm gold 3, so eat it.
Oh yeah, totally. You can dribble all around me.
I played one game online, so suck it, both of you.
I don't play enough Rocket League to be any. I play a decent amount of Rocket League in the past, but I don't play like anywhere near the level where I should be anything above. The highest I've been was what's after gold, platinum.
Yeah, platinum, yes.
Yeah, and then diamond. I was like plat 1 for like a day. And
I love the game because it's such a low barrier to entry with just such a high ceiling to it.
Exactly. It's like easy to play, hard to master type deal.
Yeah. Some of the people are so talented. There's one person that I was watching. I think their name is Ashley from Poland. He's a 15-year-old that only has one arm. And he's a grand champion, I think.
Jeez.
It's like the drummer
for him. That's insane.
It's like the drummer from Def Leppard.
Def Leppard.
Like he holds the controller between because on his left hand or his left arm rather, it's from like elbow up, I believe, and he holds the controller between that arm and his chin, and then uses his right hand for everything.
That's nuts.
And he does flip resets and everything, and it blows my mind.
I'm gonna link this dude in the show notes.
Yeah.
I'll find it and.
Yeah, send me the link.
I used to watch Kronavi a lot. Is that his name?
Yeah. Kronovi, yeah.
Like he was the dude, like he was like grand champion with their rocket car game before Rocket League.
a supersonic battle car, something stupid. I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's something crazy, but he played that a lot. And so he was just a natural when Rocket League came out. But some of the things he's like, I've watched some like the finals and some of the champions that they had, the championships. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, my mind doesn't even work that way to process what their hands are doing.
Yeah.
Like, how do you do that? I can fly a little bit. I've done some pretty good aerial goals and shit. But these people are like booping the ball off the backboard and doing 360 flips and farting the ball into the goal. I don't get it. Anyway, Travis, do you have any achievements this week?
I ran my first dungeon in ESO as a DPS, and I didn't screw up horribly.
There you go. Congratulations.
So we got that. Thank you. I appreciate it. Nice.
So I'm a bum. I played a lot of video games and I went to the gym a lot this week. So we're on to the topic of the week.
All right. So this week's topic of the week is a very, very dividing. Very, I don't know. A lot of people have a lot of opinions about this. And it's what constitutes an RPG? Like, what is an RPG?
What is a role-playing game, Alex? Thank you.
So, to me, that is it is a game that is based around character development that is either mechanical or narrative based. So, mechanical being levels, stats, upgrading your pickpocket to put grenades in people's pants in Fallout, things like that. Or narrative based, which is where you make decisions in the story that will either grow your character or change where they're going in life.
So, like in Skyrim and Fallout.
Oh yeah, that. Or
so RPGs are only Skyrim and Fallout.
No, because there's also narrative.
Yeah.
So you got like Persona.
I mean, I guess.
So
right.
what would you consider then something like, say, God of War for PS4? Is God of War for PS4 an RPG?
I don't think so. No.
I mean, there's leveling up. There's story progression.
But there's not really narrative decision though.
I mean, there's narrative.
There's narrative. There's story, but it's not decision based.
Games have a narrative, but there's not a narrative decision there. You're not shaping the character's destiny from your choices. It's kind of just laid out in front of you.
I mean, a lot of JRPGs though, you don't shape the character's destiny based off of your decisions in the story either.
That is true.
So this is exactly why it's so contested.
So they aren't JRPGs then. They're just J's.
Just J's. It's just Japanese.
It's Japanese.
But yeah, no, I get what you're saying, and
it's hard to put it into exact words.
That's why it's a good topic to discuss, because there's no contextual way to say, like, there's no defined rules of what an RPG game is, especially in these days where you got every game and their mother is coming out with some sort of leveling system. Like we were saying before, Rocket League has a level system. You gain experience based off the decisions you do in the game. You score a goal, that's 100 XP. You dominate somebody, you get a couple hundred for winning. You destroy somebody, you don't get anything, but they learn their lesson.
I would probably say that games without narrative are automatically disqualified.
Yes.
And that's probably wrong too. But that's what I'm going with for right now.
No, I don't think it is, because games that don't have a narrative are strictly mechanical based.
Correct. Now hear me out. So, in a way,
no.
Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past is an RPG.
No, God, it's not a freaking RPG.
It's an action adventure game.
It's an action adventure. It always has been, and it always will be.
But by your definition, your narrative choices determine your
not
growth.
Really?
No narrative choices in that game.
There are not narrative choices.
There absolutely is.
To not kill chickens.
What? So you can say yes or no and still have to do the same thing?
It's still a narrative choice, and there's progression. There's progression as far as your weapons go. Am I wrong?
But there's no. Yes, but no.
Exactly. Yes, but no. So in a way, A Link to the
And I
Past
don't
is an
like-
RPG.
No, it's not.
No, it doesn't. It's an action adventure. It's an action game with some minor RPG elements.
It's an action RPG, an ARPG.
No, it's not.
No, it's
Especially not even compared to other games that are action RPGs from the same generation.
Like what?
Like Secret of Mana, Trials of Mana,
Ah.
is nothing like those. Nothing at
Yes,
all.
it's an ARPG.
There's no real character progression.
There is, though. You have to get the gold sword to defeat Ganon. You need to progress your arrows to the silver level. It's an action
You are
RPG.
using words
No.
that technically fit because of their loose descriptions, but you're not using the correct words to describe something.
I absolutely am. Action
would
RPG.
say- I would say the only thing that would constitute Legend of Zelda as being an RPG based on my personal definition would be the fact that Link is sort of kind of like an elf. And my definition is basically any game that has its deep roots in Dungeons and Dragons.
So, like,
So if I put elf ears on my Rocket League car,
then yeah, I mean, if that's the case, but using your definition as well there, Travis. So like a game like Destiny, which is it's a looter shooter RPG.
Yeah.
By your definition, it's not an RPG.
No, I would say it is. I didn't say like setting.
No, but you said it has deep roots.
Mechanically,
Well, when you say deep roots in Dungeons and Dragons, I mean
levels up,
oh,
equipment.
You level up your equipment in Zelda.
No, you don't level it up.
Your sword goes. It literally.
No. Do you get experience for your sword? No, you don't.
You get experience when you
get a new sword.
You gain experience in skill, though. You get better as you
by
experience.
that logic,
No, but that's the player. That's not the character.
by that logic, you get experience in playing Pong. Pong is not an RPG.
It could be.
No.
I mean, it could though.
You're such a troll.
It actually couldn't, though. That's the thing that it actually couldn't.
I mean, you score a goal, you get 100 experience, just like in Rocket League. Just put Alfie, put Alfiers on the ball, on the little square. Everything's an RPG.
No. And it was actually I was listening to one podcast where the one person said that basically anytime you take the role of a character, that is an RPG. And like that is probably the last thing I would call an RPG. Because like you take on the role of a character in like everything. Like except like sports games maybe.
No,
because you're taking the role of a team.
Well, you're taking the role, like I say, you're playing like Madden. You take the role of whoever has the ball. So you're taking the role of like Tom Brady, who throws it to Gronk. Then you take the role of Gronk. So Madden is an RPG.
Madden is an RPG with multiple timelines.
It really is, actually. It really is. Just like Zelda. Just like Zelda.
What's your definition then, Adam?
That's a role playing.
What's your definition of an RPG?
It's a role playing game. It's simple as that.
Your definition of an RPG. What is it?
I don't really.
I
don't really have a definition because everything has an RPG element to it anymore. Like this
podcast is over.
Cut. Call it a day. No, like all right.
Stream is done. We're done.
So all right. So you got rooted in RPG elements. So like games like Rocket League, games like Zelda. I mean, Zelda doesn't really. I'll say it. Zelda doesn't have a lot of RPG elements besides equipment progression.
Right.
Games like Madden, games like. So when I think of RPG, I think of just heavy rooted RPG elements, like you're leveling up your gear progression, your story progression, stuff like that. Whether it's action RPG, whether it's a turn-based JRPG, it just has that core RPG setting. It doesn't matter what the actual.
RPG?
What was that?
Is Grand Theft Auto an RPG?
No.
Sandbox RPG at best.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean the newer Grand Theft Autos, you progress your attributes as far as swimming, running, your aim with weapons and shit. So there's it's I would go sandbox RPG.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, because it is moving more towards those RPG mechanics. I saw that
Travis,
that cringe there, Travis.
physically hurt.
Yeah, that was a grimace. That was definitely a grimace right there.
But it's moving more towards with more mechanics, but that doesn't make it an RPG.
Yeah.
Whereas you got something like Final Fantasy, where that's more about the story as well as the character progression, not just leveling up. Whereas you take a game like Grand Theft Auto 5, where the leveling up of your stats is tertiary compared to the open world and the what story there is in Grand Theft Auto. The leveling up is tertiary. It's not a main aspect of the game, where you have a game like Skyrim, where leveling up your character, whether it's leveling up overall or whether it's leveling up like your one-handed, your heavy armor, stuff like that, that is a core mechanic of the game.
Right.
That's where I would cut the line between an RPG and something that has RPG elements.
Yeah, it's got to be the crux of the game.
Exactly.
Is character progression.
Yeah.
So like I'm sure like, you know, there are some people that could go through, or that would go through God of War, say for PS4, go through that without increasing any skills, just to go through the game and beat it on that base level.
Yeah.
Where it's not really part of the game. I don't think anybody can go through, like, you just can't go through Final Fantasy VI without leveling up your characters and getting stronger.
Yeah, and
because you're just gonna get the floor wipe with you. So
yeah, and that's another thing as far as that goes. I mean, you don't see it so much in like the Elder Scrolls or anything from Bethesda, because everything is dependent on your progression as a whole. Whereas, you know, everything scales to you, like ESO, Fallout 4, everything is based off of your current progression. But take a look at any JRPG where you're gated. You're going to be gated at some point to level up. That's one of the main factors that you have to take a look at as well. And like I said, we don't see that as much in any of the Elder Scrolls or anything coming out of Bethesda. I think Fallout New Vegas was probably the last game that came out that had like a gate where like, oh, that's Death Claw Valley, I'm going right there right now. And they will.
That wasn't even Bethesda, so that just
I mean, yeah, that's true. That was Obsidian. But you still saw that in Fallout 3 though, where you'd go somewhere and you would get the shit knocked out of you and be like, all right, I got to come back later. Whereas you take a game like Fallout 4, you can go anywhere at any time, and you're, as long as you're competent with your combat, you're going to be fine. Same thing with Skyrim. I mean, leveling up in those games helps out, but everything is scaled to what your character's skill is. So those are still RPGs because they're still at the core mechanic of the game. But take a look at any other RPG out there, you're going to be gated at some point in that game where you're going to have a hard time if you don't properly level your characters up.
Yeah, like especially turn-based combat systems, because like every boss is a DPS check.
Yeah.
So, you know, you're not going to be able to overcome every boss if your equipment's not upgraded, if your characters aren't leveled up. It's just not going to be possible. Like, you know, you try to take on, say, Necklord and Suikoden too early. That dude's tough. He will destroy you.
Here's a good one. This one comes to mind because this is probably the first one that hits home for me. Final Fantasy VII.
Mm-hmm.
The Living Wall. At the end of the Temple of the Ancients.
Yeah.
That is a hard check to see if you've leveled up. And they did it right because there's a place where you, right before you fight them, if you go back, there's a guy that'll heal you up every time. So you can grind all you want. But that is a hard DPS check. That's a hard skill check in that game. I remember the first time I played Final Fantasy VII, I got there and that guy rolled me over for days because it was a hard DPS check. And I sat there and I grinded to the point where he wasn't an issue at all. But further into the game, there's more DPS checks. So that's another thing I would look out for. Like I said, in a lot of Western RPGs these days where everything's kind of like a little toned down, you're not going to see DPS checks like that. Bravely Default 2, Chapter 1, I think it was. Either Chapter 1 or the Chapter 2 boss. This is a hard DPS check, and those guys beat the piss out of me.
Chapter 2, because I'm just right now at the end of Chapter 2. It's Chapter 2.
Where you get the thief?
Yes.
It sounds like you might still be fighting him, huh?
Yeah, I haven't finished it because I lost, and I was like, yeah, I'll do this later.
Where he does the strike where it hits you, and then it does a lot of damage, and then like a couple seconds later it hits you again for a lot of damage.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, that's the Godspeed strike. You're gonna, once you get that unlocked, you're gonna use it a lot.
Okay.
I'm at the end of chapter 5 and I still use that a lot. But the boss after him, Alex, you're gonna want to grind even more between that guy and the next guy, because
I
they're
like the game, but I don't love it.
they're hard DPS checks, and then everybody I've talked to that's gone past that point, they grind the hell out of that game right before those bosses to beat them, and then the rest of the game is significantly easier.
Okay. I have a quick question about Bravery Default 2.
Shoot.
Not to derail things, but
Oh, we're
Did
used to
you-
derailing things here.
That's what we do.
did you have the issue where the black mage that you get first, his name's Elvis, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Does everything just target him? Is that just how the game works?
It depends on your weapons. So if you look at your gear, your weapons have a chance to be targeted stat.
Okay, maybe I missed that.
What I would recommend doing is I changed him right away from black mage to white mage, and I turned what's her name, the white mage that comes with him.
Mm-hmm.
I turned her into she's like a vanguard now. Vanguard's
That's
really
what I have,
really powerful because they have a stat, or they have a trait later on that every other job you have leveled up to max, they get like attack power bonuses.
Okay.
So they're pretty potent, as well as just a basic freelancer is really potent.
Yeah,
So.
I'm just having the issue in the game where every single combat he just gets targeted until he's dead, and that's just it.
If you want a good grinding spot after the cast, I'll tell you about a good grinding spot to level up your jobs, as well as leveling up your overall level as well.
Alrighty.
So is that it for the topic? Have we all said our piece on what an RPG is?
I think so.
I want to bring up one thing real quick, and I want to discuss this for a few minutes.
All right.
Is it A Link to the Past?
No, it is not a Link
and
to
how
the
it's an RPG?
Is Dark Souls a JRPG?
A JRPG?
Yes.
Yes.
I mean,
Dark Souls is a Western stylized JRPG.
From an Eastern company.
Yeah.
Technically, yeah. I mean, as far as Dark Souls go, yeah, it is wait until you have an opening. You're taking turns swinging, so yeah, I guess. I mean, sometimes you're waiting more than one turn to swing, though, for like Artorias, because fuck that guy.
That was a fun fight.
But yeah, I mean,
I am of the mind, and I'm sure I'll get raked over the coals by some people by this, that JRPG is not a location-based thing. It's a genre. It is a subgenre of RPG.
I mean, if you want to, it's like in that sort, like even I call it this because it's how we all grew up as JRPG, but I take a look at more as just like a turn-based RPG.
Yeah, but then Dark Souls is an ARPG.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But no, I see where you're coming from on that.
It's such a weird way to be able to describe things.
It's like a subgenre.
Like, it is, and like I don't know. The whole we'll have to have another discussion, another episode where we actually discuss the subgenres of RPG and kind of dig into them a little bit. But like that's just keep that in the back of your mind. Just think about it. Eat it. Chew on it. We know. Whatever.
Yeah. No, I see where you're coming from on that, and I agree 100%. Like, yeah, it's a subgenre as far as like JRPG goes. Compared to, it's not just Japanese RPGs anymore.
Yeah.
It's like the equivalent of Japanese anime, but you have something like Avatar. Avatar is what, from a French company, isn't it originally?
I don't remember.
I want to say. I want to say Avatar is French animators. I'm not 100% sure, but I think they are French animators. And people like talk shit on Avatar because its origins aren't Japan.
Yes, it is French.
But it's still the art style. It's still the same style.
Yeah.
And Avatar is one of the best animes to come out in years. So suck it. Except for, except for the movie.
Yeah.
We don't talk about that. There has not been a movie.
Oh, hold on. Who made the movie?
I don't know what movie you're talking about, so
Wasn't it James Cameron?
I believe it was Uwe Boll.
No, James Cameron
He made the
did Avatar.
Are you
He
serious?
did Avatar.
Are
Yeah.
you sure?
Yeah, with the blue people.
No, you dickhead.
Yeah, that's the only Avatar movie there is.
No, I'm talking about. I'm talking about. I'm talking about the
Avatar
Airbender.
movie. Blue people show up. That's the only Avatar movie. It's the first thing on Google. Google doesn't lie to you.
Hold on. I
If it
think
was
it's-
Uwe Boll, that's why it sucked so hard.
Oh no,
No,
it was M Night Shyamalan.
M. Night Shyamalan did that?
Yeah.
Oh,
Fuck that guy.
That's really sad. That's really sad.
I was gonna say it's Uwe Boll, and I hope he sees this because I'd get in the fucking ring with that turd.
Oh, how the mighty have fallen.
I love how everybody he challenges everybody to a boxing match when they talk shit on his garbage movies.
Well, we're ready. Adam's ready. Adam can kick his ass.
10 years of kung fu.
Maybe.
So we have our question of the week as well, which is what is your favorite RPG element in a non-RPG setting, and give an example. You want to start this one off, Travis? I know you wanted to talk about this one.
I'll start this one off. Firebrant. Firebrant. These are all Discord answers, by the way, because I forgot to post it on Twitter. Firebrant says, "Level up." That's it. Just level up. So I said, shortest answer ever award goes to Firebrant. What game would you say represents that best, in your opinion? Disgaea says Disgaea is an RPG.
Yeah.
I know. I was trying to buy time to think about not RPG. SRPG, but RPG yet. LOL. I would have went with the Good for Gaming Discord. He said it's a social MOBA. I think so. I think that works. So that was our conversation. So yes, Discord is a social MOBA.
Okay, then we have Assault Power X, weapon rarity systems. Destiny 2 has honestly the best iteration of such a system. That's correct, and you can even take a look at something like it's not so much a weapon rarity, but if you look at Rocket League, another wonderful RPG we talked about earlier today, they have a rarity system as far as what kind of toppers and shit you can put on your car. I know they don't do loot boxes, but there's drops and shit now. I don't get it, but that's the equivalent of the rarity system. It's in a lot of different games.
COD has it.
Call of Duty has it. Everything has it. Like
yeah. COD has leveling up too. There you go, Firebrant COD.
There you go. Alex,
all right, Alex, you want to do the next one?
Yeah, sure. This one was actually from Kai. It says, "My favorite mechanic are hidden equipment and stat systems, like those found in something like A Link to the Past." Now, this next sentence is very important, and I would like it to be heard. It is not an RPG. But Under the Hood has hidden equipment and weapon stats that do increase dependent on the player's actions. Like upgrading the sword, for example.
Which are RPG elements, as we discussed before.
Right.
But
those are definitely RPG elements.
It's an RPG, damn it.
And then Phil, Origin of Chaos, says, as for the question, it is either gear systems or skill trees. All depends on the game, as either mostly works because of the framework it is put in.
Yes.
Okay.
Now,
Alex,
what was yours?
Go ahead, Alex.
Mine's a weird one because I don't actually have a favorite element that gets included in other games because I think it takes all the elements to make good games. I don't think there's a single mechanic that you can just take and stick in other things to make other stuff better by default.
No, but I mean, there's some games that do things obviously better than others, for sure.
Well, yeah, but do they do them better because there's other things influence it, or is it just that one alone?
I don't know. Just what do you like it best in?
I don't know.
Regardless of everything else. Just say your answer. Go ahead.
It's probably skill trees, honestly. I couldn't think of anything else.
And Travis, what about you?
I'm gonna have to go with equipment. I really enjoy being able to equip my character with new and better stuff to make them be able to go back to earlier areas and wreck things. Realistically, it doesn't really make that much of a difference when you're moving forward in a game because it kind of like it keeps you on par. It doesn't necessarily make you stronger or weaker. It just kind of keeps you on a scale that just, so you're always taking 30 seconds to beat a battle. I would say though that my favorite implementation of such, I don't really know. I would probably say, to an extent, probably Ratchet and Clank Up Your Arsenal.
Yeah, I
because
could see that.
you can increase your armor. Like your armor gets better, and you get other equipment that does other things, and your guns of course level up in that game too, which is pretty cool. But I would say, yeah, I like that. I like it.
No, I can see where you're coming on that as well. So I'm gonna have to go with like stat progression. This is kind of a good thing for me, especially coming from like, I hate to say this, Final Fantasy 11, where you have to actually like level up your shit, like your weapon skills and everything. But in another game, I would put this in is Tony Hawk Pro Skater, really, because you find your stat points for ollies and everything, and it helps a lot. I mean, I've been in the middle of trying to get the platinum for the 1 and 2 remake, and there's so much shit to do in that remake that I don't think I will ever get the platinum on that. But I keep going back and doing stuff I couldn't do before because my stats are maxed out now.
There you go.
But that's about
right.
it.
That's it.
Alex, where can we find you on the internet?
Twitter and pretty much most social media places, just Drumming Viking. Pretty just everywhere on the internet. If you type that in, you'll find me places.
And Travis?
You can find me on Twitter at Terror Squirrel, SKWIRL. You can find me on TikTok with no videos and 2 followers.
I'm one of them.
There you go.
There we go.
Oh, 3 followers. That's right, 3 followers. I have 3. I forgot about that. And I think I'm kind of, that's it for my personal social media. So,
I mean, that's a bit of like, I'm on Twitter at xcore games, on Instagram at xcore.games, and TikTok it's at I'm xcore. That's about it for me as well. And then Travis, where can we find the RPG Kingdom on the internet?
You can find us at HTTP. It's all HTTP. There's no HTTPS. It's just a redirect. Don't worry, it's not insecure. But HTTP : www.therpgkingdom.com, which is our podcast, which is where you kind of found us right now. We have youtube.therpgkingdom.com, which is our YouTube. We've got discord.therpgkingdom.com, and that's our Discord. And I think that's really it for right now. We're not really overly active. Oh, you can search for us on Facebook. We have a Facebook group now that is just the RPG Kingdom. So you can search for us on there. I don't think I set up a redirect for that yet, so I will get to that eventually.
And also, special shout out to our 2 Patreons, our patrons. We have Firebrand, and who was the other one, Travis?
Jester.
I was going to say Joker.
Jester 8082.
Yeah, shout out to those guys. You can find us at patreon.com/therpg kingdom. You can support the cast for as cheap as a cup of coffee a month.
Yeah, for shizzle.
But I think that's it for this week, Travis, huh?
Yeah, that's it.
All right, well, we'll see you next week.
Yeah, thank you very much, Alex, for joining us. Greatly appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
And, bye.
Bye.
Alrighty.